So you never want to have to begin an episode with a mea culpa, an admission of error. But that's exactly what I'm going to have to do right now, because in the coming episode, there are a few factual mistakes. And I wanted to just point out that, for instance, Makawao doesn't only have 1,000 people living in it. It actually has 7,000, which is actually pretty surprising to me. And Up County, Maui, doesn't exist as far as I know. It's actually upcountry Maui. So I wanted to address some of those at the beginning because we're talking about places we love here. The vision for this podcast is that you would come along on our adventures for our family. And I want to make sure to get you the best information. Now, with that being said, please enjoy this episode, mistakes and all, of Dreams, Plans, and Scrapbooks. Hello, and welcome to Dreams, Plans, and Scrapbooks, the podcast where fond memories are relived and exciting new journeys are dreamed up on the spot. Sit back and relax. The adventure is about to start.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dreams, Plans, and Scrapbooks. I'm your host, Zoe Kreisel, joined as always by my co-host, Clayton Kreisel. Today, we will be telling you about our amazing vacation we took earlier this spring to Hawaii.
That's right. We are so very excited. We've actually had this plan for quite a while, but man, with the end of the school year and all the little fun things that come with the beginning of summer, it can sometimes be very hard to get these recordings in. So we are excited to bring these recordings to you now, and we are excited to chronicle our adventures. So a little bit of housekeeping here, just so you know, it's been a while since we've recorded. Our last episode was about the adventure that we took to Arkansas, and that, to give you some context, took place literally the weekend before we left for Hawaii. So we had a very busy 2 weeks there, where we had a small vacation down to Arkansas to watch Mizzou. If you haven't heard that podcast yet, I would suggest going back and listening to it. And then we hopped on a plane just a few days later and headed to Maui, Hawaii. And man, what a awesome experience we had. And you may be wondering, how did we decide to go to Hawaii? Well, I know for myself, I didn't really ever grow up wanting to go Hawaii, but if I'm honest, the reason why I ultimately wanted to go Hawaii is because, I saw Moana.
No, I mean, that's the reason I wanted to go. That's the only reason I wanted to go to Hawaii for when I was little. And now, just growing up, some of my friends have went before or been planning to go, and it's just, it looks obviously so magical, but it was all of our first times at any one of the islands, and we chose, like we said, to go to Maui, which I think was an excellent choice. It was truly, the Big Island probably would have been my second choice, but Maui had literally, seems like it had elements of all the islands.
Yeah. So whenever Amanda and I decided to go to Hawaii, it was maybe in November, and we hadn't yet told the girls, and we were doing a ton of research. And we had originally thought, Maui, because of course everybody wants to go to Maui, and that is ultimately where we picked. But when we started looking at Maui, man, it was expensive. And as I started to look at the Big Island and saw that it still had the active volcano on it, we wanted to kind of avoid Oahu, although I'm sure we would have enjoyed it because, big city feel and stuff. We get that when we go to LA, which we're going to here in a couple weeks, and we'll be bringing you more episodes about Southern California and, of course, Disneyland and everything there too. But we decided that Maui is just probably the most unique of the islands. I know a lot of people like Kauai as well, but Maui kind of has it all. And has a huge cultural bit. So money was pretty expensive, and we were having trouble finding a place. But I'll tell you how we found a solution there to that problem in just a little bit. But once we got that bit figured out, once we figured out, hey, we can actually afford to stay here and go here, it was kind of a no-brainer. So we ended up picking Maui because we felt like it had the best mixture of adventure and beaches, and honestly the prettiest beaches. And speaking of that, we have decided that that's how we're going to split this series up a little bit. We're going to split this series up into a 2-part episode series. The first episode we are going to call Adventure, Hawaii Adventure. And the second part we're going to call Hawaii Beaches. And you'll hear our stories and our personal take on all of them, on all of that. But we're going to talk about mostly think of more inland adventure stuff with this first one. So more like jungle, mountains, those types of things. And then the beaches and the coastline more on the second part, on the second episode. So, the first thing you need to know about Hawaii is it is part of the U.S., but only kind of, sort of.
No, it does not feel. I've been out of the country 4 times now. For long periods, I guess like 2 or 3 weeks. And every time you leave the U.S., there's this different feel to it. There's something that you can't even put your finger on it sometimes. It's not the same. It's not the same culture. It's not the same. It doesn't look the same. It's different altogether. And when we went to Hawaii, it did not feel like anything I've ever experienced on the mainland, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's a different climate. Honestly, and this makes sense too, because it's a little bit closer to I guess it's a little bit closer to the equator because it's pretty far south, but it felt honestly a lot like Uganda. Like the inland, like the climate, the plants, all the stuff. It felt a little bit like Uganda.
There were some specific roads and yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about some of those roads here in a little bit. But we just were blown away by the beauty of Maui and the beauty of Hawaii in general. Just as you look around, of course, everybody is. That's why they go. And we had a really unique experience, I think. One thing that I cannot state enough is when you go, first of all, the flights. They're interesting. Like flights out there, typically they will leave, they'll leave pretty early in the morning from the mainland and get there roughly, mid-afternoon or night there. But what that feels like to you, because you're going 5 hours backwards if you're coming from the Midwest and 3 hours if you're going from the West Coast, is you feel like it's 5 hours later than it actually is. So for us, I can't remember exactly what time we landed. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So it felt like 10, but we had been up since 4 a.m. our time. So really, when you think about that, we'd been up since 4 a.m. to 10 our time, even though it was only 5 there. Yep. And we were tired. Jet lag is a real thing.
I think we were up for 35 hours or something crazy. And then was it also daylight savings really recently, or making that up?
Yeah, daylight savings had been fairly recent because we went in March. We went for spring break. Mm-hmm. So we were there over spring break, which was also a unique experience. You may have thought it would have been busier than it was. I didn't feel like it was incredibly busy.
I did not feel like it was that busy at all. But we didn't stay in the resorts.
No.
And I'm sure if we would have, even when we went up there, which we'll talk about later, I think in next episode or maybe even this one.
Yeah, the next episode.
That was maybe a little busier and a little harder to find parking, but otherwise it wasn't.
It really wasn't that bad even then. But yeah, so prepare for jet lag if you're going to go. We are experienced with jet lag because we are world travelers. This was significant. The first day, as always, is a little bit tough. We got there and we were tired and we wanted to go to bed at 7.
Coming back is always worse though. So
I think so.
Yeah.
But we wanted to go to bed at 7 at night, but we made ourselves not. We made sure to not go back to the room too early. That's always a good trick. Don't get to the place you're going to sleep until you are ready to sleep, because you will sleep.
You will sleep.
Yep.
Trust me. I literally I blasted music. I was I will not fall asleep at 8:30. I was that's not acceptable.
Yeah. So we got there maybe closer to 8:30. and got unpacked and then got to bed at a decent time. Then that just helps your whole body adjust. Now, granted, we slept for like 12 hours, so yeah, we were exhausted.
Out.
Yeah. And so where is it that we decided to stay? Well, we decided to stay in the cowboy town of Makawao.
Yeah, I've never heard of like all the specific towns and stuff. So when they told me we're staying in Makawao, I was like, oh, that's great. I mean, I don't really know what it is, but after exploring more of Maui and really seeing all the other places, I'm so happy we chose it. It was amazing, honestly. Like all the shops, all the like the views, to keep being right under Haleakala. It was perfect.
Yeah, so Makawao is in a part of Maui that is called Up County Maui. So Maui can kind of sort of be split into maybe like 4 or 5 different regions. So first of all, when we talk about Maui, like how big is Maui? Honestly,
not that big.
Yeah, like if you were to drive from one side of the island to the other, it would take you about 2 or 3 hours. But don't let that like fool you. That's only because of the way the roads are built. And you're driving around a huge volcano. If you were just to do that, like it's not that big. Like it's like 40 miles across. It's really not that big at all. Like if you could just drive it straight, you could drive across the whole thing in like a little more than a half hour. If you could just drive at a normal speed all the way across it. Yeah.
And we basically, I mean, we didn't go everywhere, but we were in quite a few places all over the island.
Oh my goodness, yes. And I mean, the great thing about Up County, or Makawao, specifically the city we stayed in Up County, is that it is centrally located. As Zoe mentioned, it's under the base of Haleakala, which is the volcano there. It's not an active volcano. It's called Up County because you are headed up the side of the volcano. So you're a little bit higher in elevation than you are down at the beach. Humidity is a little less. It's definitely less hot up there. And it's less busy, more affordable. And like I said, that centrally located bit is actually really nice because if you were to stay out in what's called West Maui, if you stay out in West Maui, where like a lot of the big resorts and stuff are, you're on a little bit of a curve. And so like to get to a lot of other things, unless you're just going to stay in West Maui, can take about 45 minutes to an hour, or even 2 to 3 hours, depending on where you're trying to get to. But where we were at, we could be to Pa'i, we could be to West Maui, we could be to South Maui, like where Kihei is. We could be to the road to Hana. We could be to all of these things. Hana
in like 10 minutes.
Right, we could be to all these things in maximum like 30 or so minutes. So we were centrally located, which I cannot like advocate for enough. I would definitely say if you're going to Maui, consider not staying over at the resorts. Consider staying up in Makawao for all the reasons I just said. Affordability being one of the big ones. And this is what I was going to say. We had an awesome Airbnb, and Lizbeth, if you ever hear this episode, I'm going to leave a link for your place in the show notes here. Lizbeth was our host, and she had the most awesome Airbnb, like one of the best Airbnbs I've ever stayed at.
Amazing. The backyard alone was just like, it literally looked out of this world, like a jungle. It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So in Lizbeth's backyard, she has the largest Norfolk pine in, they claim, all of Hawaii. Definitely the biggest on Maui. And it is huge. It's
obviously
huge. And then there's just lots of little places to lay out chairs. There's a lot of covered areas and places to like read. We prayed and read our Bibles a lot out there. I think Zoe read, you had just bought the Sunrise.
We actually went to Hawaii the day that the Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Hunger Games book, released. And I was kind of disappointed because I was going to go to the release party with my friends. But actually the first thing we did when we got to Hawaii is drove to a Barnes & Noble. So I spent a lot of time in that garden reading that book, which highly recommend. It was amazing. Yeah.
So, I mean, we first land at the airport in Kahului, which was only about 30 minutes, 25 minutes actually from our place, which that was also nice because you land at Kahului and now you don't have to drive 45 minutes or an hour to get to your place over at the Westin or whatever if you were staying in West Maui. And we landed there. We ate at a place in Wailuka, which is just right there by Kalui called 62. What was the place of that? What was that place called? 62. I've got it here in my notes. 62 Market. And I had the Moco Loco. I think you had a burger and Mommy had fish tacos. It was really great. I actually loved the sitting area.
Yeah,
Great
we got
place
outside. We were all so tired and out of it and hungry. It was crazy.
Right. Then we drove to the Barnes and Nobles in Kahului, which is the biggest city really in Maui. And then we took off from there and headed straight up to Makawao. Got to Makawao, got to Lisbeth's place, got unpacked, and that's where we were able to obviously sleep that first night. But Makawao is known as a cowboy town, thus the little cowboy music that you heard a minute ago as we played the intro to this place here. So Makawao is an absolutely gorgeous little town. I loved it so much. There is so much going for it.
So many great shops.
Yeah, so many little great shops. It's got a really cute little downtown. I mean, it's a town of maybe like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people. It's super small. There is so much around it, though, so much to do. And in the town itself, you've got a little shopping place, and we had a place that we went to every single day we were there. If you know anything about our family, we always pick a coffee house, usually wherever we go, and we go there pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm. And this one, we didn't miss a single day.
No, we literally went there every single day. We got to know the owner really well. He got to know us. And that place is called Espresso Mafia.
Oh my goodness. And I hate espresso.
Well, it's not X.
I didn't say X. I said espresso.
Oh, you did? Okay, great.
Okay. Well, if I said espresso, I'm sorry, I meant espresso. I know my father is a formal barista-ish.
Formal. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? We'll go with that.
I know espresso. I'm sorry if I said espresso. Anyway, I don't love coffee that much, but oh my goodness. Their coffee was actually amazing. Yeah. And their smoothies were out of this world. Like literally the best smoothies they had on the whole trip.
Well, because anywhere you go in Hawaii, the
the
fruit is amazing. It's all
true.
Local. Oh my goodness.
But I had multiple smoothies and I would still pick that one out of all of them.
Yeah, they were really good. And once again, because of the climate, because of the fact that you're not picking things before they're ripe and shipping them all over the place. It's all locally grown. It's all fresh. The fruit is unbelievable. And they have such a variety of fruits.
Some of the fruits don't even taste like similar. Like they're just like, they're such a rich, like it's just a different flavor.
Yeah. What was the one? You got like the strawberry, pineapple, banana one.
I got different
days,
ones,
right?
different days, but I had a pineapple. I think it was a pineapple, strawberry, banana.
Yeah.
It changed depending on the day because I had different fresh fruits. So.
Yeah. But that was the one I think you got the most. And even I liked it. And I hate strawberry, but it was so good. I liked it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Espresso Mafia, we always love food. So we were super impressed with the Cookie Lady of Maui. Now, the Cookie Lady of Maui makes these humongous cookies. And when I say humongous, it's almost like they're like cakes.
Yeah.
They're cookies.
They're not that like big. They're just thick.
They're real thick, yeah. And so she makes cookies that the Disney Cruise Line actually always picks up whenever they come in. And here was the coolest thing about the Cookie Lady of Maui. I did like her cookies. But the shop was...
No, the shop literally looks like it was out of Disneyland. Like it looked like it belonged in a little corner in Fantasyland, right between the Mad Hatter's, the Mad Hatter shop that they have. Mm-hmm, and then you know what I'm talking about in the little Alice corner. It actually would fit perfectly. And it was a mishmash of different themes.
Yeah, so she had a lot of Alice, but then there was a Hobbit section.
And then there was a Harry Potter section.
Yeah, and then was it like Willy Wonka?
Yeah, there was a Willy Wonka. And you would think it seemed like it was all just crowded, but it worked. It worked. It almost reminded me of I don't know how to sound a good way, like an attic of all the fairy tales.
Now the sign says on the front door hey, only 5 people in the shop at a time, and you see why when you walk in, because it's not cluttered. That's not the right word. No. It's just small. And that actually works to its favor. Yeah, that works to its favor because you feel like you're in this tiny, awesome little hut. And even the way that you buy the cookies from her through that little window inside is...
It's like there's a little house built inside of it that you get the cookies
You
from.
feel like you walk into a fairy tale.
You do.
So it's like an immersive experience in this tiny little shop.
And it doesn't look like it from the outside.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, it's actually could be pretty easy to miss from the outside.
Yeah, it could be. And you walk in and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I cannot promote enough the Cookie Lady of Maui. It is Phenomenal. So very good. And
Very,
I
very
would
good.
absolutely recommend it to anyone. And then lots of little like gift shops, lots of little places to buy
Like t-shirts
t-shirts,
and
little snacks. They call this place the Rodeo General Store or
oh
the
yeah,
Rodeo Shop. It's just like got a lot of, like little kind of a miniature grocery store, but also these sandwiches and things that you can buy, which lots of people stop because you have to drive through Makawao on your way up to Haleakala. It's really kind of the last town to stop in if you're going to go up the mountain into the national park. And so a lot of people will stop there and grab a picnic or whatever for the day. It's a really good option for that. But then they have a newer restaurant that I am in love with. We went there on my
yes,
birthday.
went there twice. It was so good.
Yeah, it's the Makawao Public House, and it
Oh
is
my
an
goodness.
English fare, but they also have some Hawaiian fare.
But then there's ramen, but it also wasn't traditional ramen, but it was amazing ramen. I
Yeah.
love ramen.
So I had the fish and chips there, and they serve English style fish and chips, which is unique in Hawaii because in Hawaii they do a little bit more of like we would do here in the mainland with this, like some more like crumb or panko or something
Yeah.
like that.
I
Crusts.
prefer English style.
Yeah, but the English style with
It's
the
just so
with the real thick breading and the flour breading and stuff like that I love. And they give you the lemon and you squeeze over it, and it's got the tartar sauce and everything. And it was so good. And
so good.
we had a few different items there. We had steak.
We had, like I said, we had ramen. I think did Eleanor have like a burger?
Yeah, she had a burger, but I mean, she eats a burger
She eats a
pretty much
burger everywhere. I'm pretty
except
sure
for the noodles. She ate noodles at Pai, which we'll talk
we'll
about
get
next time
later. But yeah.
And so that place, the Makawao
It
Public
was so
House,
good. It's a little fancier, but like you don't
not
have
too
to
fancy.
dress up.
No, not at all.
But
Not
you
at all.
can.
Yeah, you can. If you wanted to make a fun night of it, you wanted
Yeah.
to dress up.
We
this would be a
did.
good
We did
option.
the first night, but the second night, I think I went in like jean shorts. And I was like, I'm just hungry.
Yeah, we were just starving and we wanted some good food. So, Makawao, incredibly safe, fun place to walk around, and beautiful views. As a matter of fact,
Beautiful.
there's this little place outside, maybe about 10 minutes outside of Makawao called Ocean Vodka. And of course, they make vodka there, but they also have this sitting area that's
Oh my
huge.
goodness.
And you can order pizzas and everything else there. And you can see from there, because you're up county, remember, you're up the side of the mountain, both sides of the island perfectly. You can see across the
beautiful.
entire valley.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you can see literally both oceans, and it's awesome. You can sit there and watch planes come in. You can watch cruise ships come in. Such a beautiful view. Beautiful view.
That's how we ended our trip. And if you go there, I highly suggest their churros. They were absolutely amazing.
So Makawao is awesome. I cannot speak highly enough of there. If you get a chance to go, it would be a great place for you to stay as well. And it's more affordable and drivable and a lot of fun. A lot of fun place. A really fun place to stay. So the other reason why we wanted to stay in Makawao was because my top thing that I wanted to do was called the Road to Hana. All right. So, the Road to Hana. As I mentioned, this was my most anticipated thing that I wanted to do. We learned about the Road to Hana when we were doing our research for Maui, when we were trying to figure out what all do we want to do while we're there. We read about this thing called the Road to Hana. Evidently, it's pretty popular, but I had never heard of it before.
Kind of like
honest.
a staple.
Yeah. So
Bragging rights if you finish it alive, which we did, so we get to brag about it.
and we made it pretty far. We did not make it.
Didn't make it
all the way that we wanted.
Yeah.
We
wanted to go to the PPY trail. We didn't get there.
Yeah.
I mean, we made it pretty far.
Yeah. So let me start by just describing to you what the Road to Hana is. The Road to Hana is a road that goes into East Maui. It goes around Haleakala. So the way the volcano comes up, it creates this sheer side to the island on the east side of the island that is basically the whole way you're driving around the side of the mountain. And as you get to the other side, there's a small little town called Hana. And the locals have to take this road from Hana to get to Kahului and western Maui, and where a lot more of the tourism is, in order to bring all their stuff. But this drive is amazing. It is so beautiful.
It is gorgeous, but it is rough.
It is a rough drive.
Yeah.
Most of the road is 1.5 lanes for 45 miles. And you've got traffic coming from both ways.
And it is not smooth. It is
turny and curvy. You are on the side of a cliff. You have switchbacks constantly.
It is not for the faint of heart.
No, it is absolutely not for the faint of heart. But if you do it, you will see some of the most stunning, most beautiful views.
Oh my goodness.
In all of Hawaii. You will see waterfalls that are incredible.
Oh my gosh, we saw so many beautiful waterfalls.
You will drive through the jungle. You will get some of the highest views over some of the most beautiful beaches you'll ever see in your life.
You'll get to see black sand beaches and these rainbow eucalyptus trees that are just
absolutely
beautiful. And then you'll just be driving and you'll randomly see this little cliff and be like, oh, that's a pretty overlook. And like you'll just look over and see the ocean, and just every little angle of the island is just gorgeous.
That's right. You're driving under trees where the canopy is maybe just a few feet off of like over your head. So like,
and it is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So, a lot of people will rent like a Jeep and they'll take the top off and drive this for the day.
Totally.
It would have been awesome. Yeah, we didn't do that. We took our little RAV4 that we rented from Turo, which, by the way, Turo is an excellent service for Hawaii. It's probably better than a lot of the normal rental car places.
I think the normal rental car places just kind of suck everywhere.
Well, I don't think that's true, but definitely here it's more affordable, and you get to choose what car you want, and there's a lot of people that do Turo there. So, like, if you're going there, by the way, pro tip, Turo,
yes,
which is basically kind of like Airbnb for cars. That's the best way to describe it. It's a great way to go. But, a lot of those places, they even have warnings like, hey, we'll let you do the front half of the road to Hana, but if you try to do the back half of the road to Hana, because you could technically drive all the way around Haleakala, they actually void your warranty. You can't do that. If you go past the PPY trail, they void any of the journey. Yeah.
It's, needless to say, it's dangerous. We didn't do it.
So this is an all-day thing.
Yeah.
It takes, if you're going to stop at all the places you want to stop, you're probably going to take anywhere from 4 to 5 hours to get there and 4 to 5 hours to get back. Yeah. Now,
and even if you don't stop, it's still going to take a long time. You're going to want to stop.
Right. When we say there, where is there? Not necessarily Hana, but actually about maybe 15 miles, maybe like 10, 15 miles past Hana is where I would say a lot of people try to make it to the PPY Trail, which is the backside of Haleakala National Park. But we were trying we did want to make it there, but specifically we were trying to make it to a place called Wailua Falls, which is it is the biggest, I don't know. Well, I've been to Niagara Falls, so that's not true. Okay. But it is a massive, and I can't remember now. I want to say like 90 or maybe 120, 130 feet. No, it's bigger than that.
No,
it is this massive waterfall that comes down into a pool. And
you can go swimming in the pool. You can look at it.
It is gorgeous.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
And it's a little bit of a climb. It's hard to get to, but man, it is so beautiful and worth it.
So worth it, yes.
Yeah, it's rewarding. It is rewarding. So, for us, our experience was really fun, especially the first half. We used a guide called Shaka Guide, and I would totally 100% recommend this for several reasons. One, it makes the journey kind of fun.
Yeah.
The
mixes
guide
in music, gives you fun facts about like the history, tells you stories about how all these like places, like all the locals and
we learned the entire story of King Kamehameha and how Maui became part of the Hawaiian island chains, how he had united all the Hawaii islands, and then how the U.S. came in. We learned the entire history and story. Yeah. Also, here's the thing about the road to Hana. It is a locals highway, and you have to remember to respect them.
It's not just a touristy thing. People use it as their every day-to-day.
And a lot of the land alongside of it is private, and not everybody is super excited. We saw some signs talking about how certain individuals felt very strongly about the tourists. So there were some signs that were like, we are the chosen ones. This is our waterfall. You're not allowed to swim in it. And you're going to see several waterfalls. Some of them stay out of. The Shaka Guide was really great because it would tell you, hey, you're going to see this waterfall. Enjoy the view. Don't stop there. It would also tell you, you're going to see this thing and you're going to want to stop there. It's not safe. If you park here, it's not safe. But I'll tell you what, if you go up another 200 yards around this bend, there's a safe place to park there.
Yeah, it was super helpful.
Yep.
Also mixed in like fun custom music for the road. It was.
Yep. And it also helped you too. It's like, hey, if you have some of these goals, then you may want to skip this. Or this would be a great place for you to stop and have a picnic. Or this is the last place to use the restroom for several miles.
Or if you need food, here's where food is.
Yep. Gas up before you go. There will be no place to get gas once you're on the road to Hana. Yeah. I guess maybe there is a gas station in Hana, but
I mean, I suppose so.
I don't even 100% know that there is. But anyway,
crazy.
Food also very limited on the road to Hana.
Well, yes and no.
Correct,
there is less, like, you can't, there's not just restaurants out in the middle of nowhere, but there are fruit stands everywhere and just little pop-up booths. And, yeah.
We got the pleasure of stopping at a real life chocolate farm on the way, side of the road, a guy who had cacao plants. So we got to eat fresh cacao, and then he had also taken it through the whole process, refined it, and turned it into chocolate. And we got to taste, sample, buy some of the chocolate. He walked us through the entire process, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then we bought some really expensive chocolate. But you know what? It was good, and we were helping out the locals, so it's totally okay. Yeah, the road to Hana was awesome. I would do it again, but I would say it was very tiring. We stopped on a place called Halfway to Hana, which had this really beautiful outlet over the ocean, and we got to like walk on black rocks and see some stuff. I would 100% recommend stopping there because they have really good banana bread and hot dogs. But really, it's so. Oh, that's also where we bought the coconut that you and Cece drink. We wanted so badly to drink coconut water out of a coconut, and we got it. And the girls were drinking it, and we turned around and they didn't drink most of it. They didn't like it. But
coconut water, it's coconut. I should have known. I just wanted to drink out of a coconut,
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but that's okay.
It's okay.
We did it, and now we can say we're drinking water out of a coconut on the island. That was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
And so we stopped at Halfway to Hana, and then one of the major things that you want to do if you're doing the road to Hana, and I can't express this enough. You want to make time for the Black Sands Beach at the park in Wainapa, which can be hard because you have to have a timed entry.
Yeah, you have to be there in that time.
Yes, you got like an hour and a half window, and that can be honestly really hard to time.
Very hard.
And it can also dictate how you do the road to Hana. Mm-hmm. It can dictate
how many stops you're going to take.
Right. Well, if you try to get through the whole thing and then work your way back first,
especially if. Like our Black Sands thing was a little later in the day, so it either meant we were going to have to get super early, get all the way to the PPOR trail, turn around, and get to the Black Sands beach. Pretty late, but not super late.
Yep.
Or have to get there late and then risk driving back in the whole dark,
which you don't really want to drive on the road to Hana in the dark. It's not an easy drive. So in springtime, the sun was still going down fairly early. I think like 6:30 or 7. And so, we really wanted to try to get back. And so we did end up driving back maybe the last 30 minutes of the trail in the dark. But by that time it was less curvy.
Yeah.
We felt more confident.
More comfortable with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was an all-day thing. They do have tour guides that do this for you. Mm-hmm. You can ride a bus with a guided tour. That's always a good option if you don't want to drive it yourself. Because here's the other thing too, like it's a tough drive. Like you have to be paying attention. It's not exactly a safe drive. There's plenty of times where you're coming up on blind curves and you have to slow down and honk and see if there's a person around the corner and then kind of just go and hope there's not. Plenty of times where we had to skinny up and get, there was just one time where this local came by us and she was nice as could be, but they do it all the time. So she just tucked her mirror in and drove right by us. And we missed each other by inches.
Oh.
Like I could have touched the car easily.
Yeah. Oh, so easily.
Yeah. It was a little
scary.
Something else. So anyways, road to Hana, would I do it again? Probably not.
I don't know. I feel like I might, if I was going to do it, I'd probably do it either on a tour or I might take the back trail and just go crazy and see how crazy we can get.
Yeah, if you did the back trail, I don't know exactly how you did it. You'd have to like find somebody to do it for you, or I mean, even getting a car. Like, I'm not sure how you would get a car to do it.
I don't know if there's tours back there. I don't know. I'd probably do it again.
Actually, you couldn't even get all the way around it when we were there. If you remember, there was a section where they're trying to pave it. Most of it's gravel. They're trying to pave the backside of it. And you can't, they've got parts of it shut down. I want to be clear too. The part that we took, all of ours, we didn't drive on any gravel. All of ours was paved. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So that was the road to Hana, and it may sound like we didn't enjoy it. I realize now it may sound like we spoke about how hard it was and how negative it was.
No, it was great. It was
amazing.
It was an adventure. That's the thing. It was like
It was gorgeous.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I think I would do it again. I don't know. You're saying you wouldn't. I would.
No, I think I would in the right circumstances, but it is a whole day thing.
It is
it's
a whole
exhausting.
day thing. If you're only going to be there for a few days, I wouldn't do it. But if you're going to be there for like a week or more, then I would definitely
Yeah. I think, especially if you've never done it, you should absolutely do it. You will see some beautiful things. I don't think you'll regret doing it. Nobody I've ever talked to has regretted doing it. Just wondering if you would maybe do it all again. Yeah. That's maybe the question.
It's kind of like riding the Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah. Okay, so Road to Hana, amazing. And now we're going to talk to you about a place that we thoroughly enjoyed and was also a major factor of our entire stay, and is pretty important to Maui, and that it is Haleakala National Park.
Yeah, Haleakala, it was absolutely beautiful. I loved getting to see the sunset. Oh, and just driving up there, you get to see even more beautiful views of the ocean that, it's just every view of the ocean is slightly different. And I always think, wow, nothing's going to top that. When we just go a little higher and see even more, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, so Haleakala is the main volcano on Maui. Now, it has been dormant for a long, long time. Technically, I suppose it could erupt again, but
any second of any day. I'm joking.
The way the island change is formed, so the plate moved across the hot spot, and the hot spot is now at the Big Island, and it's been there for several centuries. I mean, probably millennia at this point, but it's been forming the Big Island. Right? It's been forming the Big Island.
Big Island just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's because lava is continuing to flow. At one time, that hotspot was in Maui, and that's where Haleakala was. Haleakala is, they used to think that the sun came in and out of Haleakala. The people used to think that because because the way the sun sits down into the crater, it looks like it's where the sun sleeps. Yeah, it looks like it's where the sun goes to bed. Yeah. And so, you'll hear a lot of people talk about going to the top of Haleakala for sunrise or for sunset. Now, Haleakala is a national park, so you have to pay to get into it, and you normally pay $30 for a 3-day pass. And you can go up there. You have to make reservations. You can go up there in the middle of the night, basically like 3 a.m., and get up to the top. It's about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to the top. You can get to the top, and it is cold. Like, we're talking freezing cold, like literally like in the high 30s to 40s, like sometimes even dipping below freezing. It does snow. Believe it or not, it snows in Hawaii on top of Haleakala. Yeah. You are way up there. You're above 10,000 feet. You are pretty high. And so Haleakala in the morning can be very, very cold, but the sunrise is gorgeous. And a lot of people go up to the top. The other very popular thing to do, which is what we did, is to go up for sunset.
Yes, I mean, probably one of the most beautiful sunsets I've seen. And we didn't end up staying for seeing the stars coming out. It was a little cloudier that day anyway, but that also, I can just tell you, would have been gorgeous.
Yeah, so if you've ever driven through the mountains, you know that weather is crazy. And it rains, and then it stops raining, and then there's clouds, and there's not clouds.
And it's like 1,000,000 degrees, and it's freezing.
So Haleakala has an observatory on top of it. and you are above the clouds. So you drive through the clouds on a cloudy day, which we did. You drive through the clouds to get to the top.
Pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool. And scary, but not bad.
I wasn't driving, so it was just cool for me.
Yeah, you can throw it in a low gear on the way down and you'll be fine. And so we get to the top, and there's this massive crater. Massive crater. And you can hike through the crater, which is pretty cool. We went down a little ways into it. But you can hike through the crater, which is like pretty much a whole day hike. Yeah. It's like a 17-mile hike or something like that.
I wouldn't do it, but looking at it,
it's
just beautiful.
Looking down through the crater is amazing. To see all the like little lava flows and tubes and everything that come through there, and how it used to erupt and come out. Mm-hmm. And the peak is pretty cool. There's a little visitor center up there, but the peak is pretty cool too because there's an observatory up there. And late at night, after after the sun has gone down, there is no light pollution, zero light pollution up there. And while we did not stay to see it, evidently it is some of the most gorgeous stargazing you'll ever see in your life. And it's cold, but it maybe isn't as cold as you might think. It's obviously overnight that it gets the most cold. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of the night, it's not bad. We were up there at sunset, and it got
a little chilly.
Yeah, maybe like 50s. I
needed like a jacket.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Definitely not a coat. For us, anyways. We're from Missouri. Maybe if you were like from California. Or
oh my gosh! Well, people in California, if it goes below 60, wear a parka.
Yeah, they're wearing. How many times at Disneyland have we seen people wearing parkas to Disneyland when it's like 62 or something at night?
No, I have seen that actually.
and yeah, so. Haleakala is your traditional national park. There are several different places to stop and hike. If you stop at the beginning, this was cool. Sissy got her Haleakala badge, right?
Yeah.
And so she had a little scavenger hunt she had to do where she had to become a junior park ranger by filling out the Haleakala official park ranger badge. She had to earn 4 or 5 points or something like that to get it, and there was different ways to earn points, and so she earned that, so she became a junior park ranger for Haleakala National Park.
Good for her.
And national parks is something we have wanted to national parks is something that we have very much wanted to make a mainstay of our vacations. We've been to several now. We've been to Acadia, we've been to Rocky Mountain National Park,
been to a few in Colorado. Well, I guess there's only one in Colorado.
Yeah, the Rocky Mountain. We want to go to the Smokies. I'd like to see Glacier and some of the other ones. And there's a bunch in California that we'd like to go see. We may even go see one on this California trip. We haven't decided 100% exactly. Yeah, there's Joshua Tree. There's Death Valley.
I don't know if I want to go to Death Valley in July. That kind of seems
that might be dangerous. And Joshua Tree is going to be hot too.
But Joshua Tree, I really do kind of want to see.
Yeah, but making it up to Sequoia or making it up to Yosemite may not be realistic this time.
Oh, I thought we were about to say maybe realistic. Okay,
maybe not.
That's okay. We'll just have to do it next time.
Yeah, but I think we'll try to make it to one sometime soon there in California. But national parks have a magical feel to them. If you've never been to one, they're always more impressive than you think they're going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been to several state parks here in Missouri, and they're cool, but I don't really think about them that much. But man, you go to national parks, and you truly feel like you're in a Yogi Bear cartoon. Well, the one.
Okay, never mind.
I said Yogi Bear. You said Star Wars.
What's Yogi Bear?
Oh my goodness, you don't know Yogi Bear?
No.
What is wrong with me? Okay, Hanna-Barbera, which was a cartoon company that made Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay.
And Huckleberry Hound. You probably don't know who that is.
No, I don't.
The Wacky Racers, those types of things.
Okay.
They also produced a show called Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear was in a national park, and he's actually. Oh, do you remember?
I know Smokey Bear.
No, not Smokey the Bear.
I feel like there's.
All right, you remember
similar.
when we lived in Fayette, and we would be driving
that
from.
That was Smokey.
No, that's Yogi Bear.
That's Smokey, the guy who says it. Okay, fine.
No, the hey baba booyah. That is Yogi. No, Smokey is. only you can prevent forest fires. And he is part of the National Parks Service, but that's not.
They're both bears with hats on their head associated with national parks.
Yeah,
and
but
Yogi and Smokey.
Yogi Bear likes
They're too
picnics.
similar.
Yogi Bear likes picnics, and he likes to steal people's picnics.
I don't know. Okay,
Yogi
whatever.
was kind of a rascal. Anyways, when we lived in Fayette, if you drive from Boonville to Fayette, somebody...
it looks like an idol.
Yeah, so I guess there was this old thing where there was these national outdoor camps, like, I don't know, by the Boy Scouts or something.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Where Yogi Bear was the mascot, and they had these huge Yogi Bear statues. And
I'm talking over 6, like...
No. Like this is probably like 20 feet tall.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, it was huge.
Okay.
And so like a Yogi Big Bear statue
and it's just
as you're
in someone's
driving.
front yard.
It's just someone's front yard. It's huge. And
I thought it was Smokey Bear, but oh well.
No, the Yogi Bear statue. And yes, we used to call it the Yogi Bear idol. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyway, how do we get off? Oh, we were talking about national parks. What were we saying though?
Back to national parks.
Haleakala. Oh yeah, they just have this magical feel to them.
Yeah, they do.
And you feel like you are
in a different world.
Yeah. And so Zoe said Star Wars because the crater did look a lot like something you see in Star Wars. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it felt like another world. It really did. When you were walking through that, you're like, this can't be Earth. Like I feel like I'm on the moon or in some Mars. Star Wars like world. Yeah, Mars, something like that. Like it was otherworldly.
Unreal.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So, well, I know we bounced around a little bit there. And maybe like what we'll end on here is the Iowa Valley. And this is probably one of the coolest things adventure wise that we did. And it's funny because it's very small. The Iowa Valley is in the right at kind of the crossroads of where you cross into West Maui and sort of the main little hump there of the island.
Yeah.
It's close to the airport and it's a state park. It's not a national park. And it's famous for something called the Iowa Needle or the Iowa Needle. And the needle is this. It's just a shoot of rock that looks like something out of Avatar, like Pandora.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
gravity-defying.
Gravity-defying. And it just shoots straight up in the middle of this massive valley.
Yeah.
And the valley, it's where a big battle took place. King Kamehameha made the river run with blood, they said, which is kind of gross because of how many people that he killed and threw down in there.
I think it's a little poetical there, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounded pretty literal to me.
Yeah.
But this is a gorgeous state park. You can do hiking up a river there, and there's this beautiful little garden, and you're climbing up to this little hut, and it's only about maybe a 20-minute walk, but you're walking up to this little hut, and as you come up to this little hut, you look out the window, and there is this huge what we call needle. And by needle, it just means it's a huge rock formation that's about, 150 feet tall. Yeah. Freestanding.
Pretty skinny.
Yeah, freestanding right in the middle of this valley, and you're right under it.
Yeah.
Lots of great pictures taken there.
There's always great photo ops.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a cost to go into this state park, but you know what? I would say it's absolutely worth it.
I think it's worth it.
Absolutely worth it. It's one of those things that if you're going to be in Maui anyways, you don't want to miss it. And then to cap it all off, and maybe even a good transition into our next episode, is we're coming down out of Iowa Valley, and we're coming into kind of the city of Wailuka and Kahului. We saw our very first ever cruise ship that we had ever seen. And when I say cruise ship, I don't know if it was Carnival Cruise or whatever, but it was humongous. I have never seen.
Yeah.
This was like a skyscraper that floats on the water.
Of course.
I have never understood till that moment just
how big
those cruise ships are.
I watched like the Disney Cruise special, so I kind of had an idea, but then just actually seeing it in person, it's so different.
So I mean, I've watched those too, but I've just never seen one in real life, and my goodness, it was unreal.
We need to do one.
We should do one sometime.
Let's go on the Wish together.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us for this first episode of our recap and scrapbook of our trip to Hawaii. We have loved being with you, and we hope you'll join us for our next episode where we talk about the Hawaiian beaches and we really recap probably what is the most popular part of Maui. We'll see you then.
Bye, guys. Have a great day. Bye.